It's over. Season 13 in the books. I should be happy. I should be a little teary-eyed. I should be all warm and fuzzy. I'm just not. This is a tough one for me, just like it was for all of America. I'm gonna keep this video short. Swear to God, this time, what else is there to say? The show's over. Let's hit it. Alright, welcome to my final video for this season. Chris Hankin, Bachelorette, season 13. And yeah, there's not much left to say. The show is over. It doesn't matter anymore. Let's go quick, real quick. Thoughts on each person. And then we'll be done. Brian, winner, chicken dinner. My man Brian picked them from the beginning. Let's watch
Next
this
up, we
real
have
quick.
Brian. I'm just going to say it. Brian is my favorite, hands down, based on pictures and bio.
He's a good-looking dude. He's 37. He's a chiropractor. It seems like he's kind of got his shit together. So this is my early pick for favorite. Please don't ruin this and be a douche, because I don't know how long that clip is, so I could just be staring. I don't know. But yeah, Brian picked him from the very beginning to be the winner. And this is the one show, I'll talk about this a little bit later, this is the one show that I actually don't read spoilers for, so pretty proud of myself on this one. A lot of the instant reaction from the Twitter sphere is that Rachel picked the douche with the ring instead of going for true love. I'll dive into a lot deeper on that in a minute, but first point is, Brian, douche, not a douche. I'm gonna go not a douche. If you watch my videos, you saw me week over week begging him not to be a douche. Okay, maybe he's like a little bit of a douche, but I think that's like an easy narrative because people are upset that she didn't pick Peter, so they're labeling Brian that way. I think he's a good guy. Brian, I'm really happy for you, bro. I am. However, I also feel really bad for Brian if he watched that last episode and had to watch Rachel and Peter and that whole thing that we'll talk about in a second. It seems like he is way more into her than she is to him, which is the exact opposite of what I thought going into this. Everything before this showed me that she was head over heels in love with him, blinders on, didn't give a shit about anyone else. But now, I mean, this dude is just genuinely in love with her. It's 2017, so obviously we judge based on Instagram posts, right? Brian, from the end of the live show until like the next day, we'll call it 24 hours, like 4, 5 Instagram posts proclaiming his love. Good words. Rachel Lindsay, on the other hand, 1 Instagram post and it's a fucking Dunkin' Donuts ad. It took her a full day plus to put her sappy I love you one. Like, come on, dude, 2017. Please take that as a joke. I'm not being serious, but like a little bit maybe. So yeah, that's Brian in a nutshell. Let's move on to Peter. America's sweetheart, future bachelor. I mean, he won the night, right? He 100% won. Do you think that's what he always wanted, though? Like, we talked about the yearbook, right? And he wanted to be the next bachelor, or wanted to be a bachelor in the future. Do you think this was like his deceptive plan the whole time? Like, just be non-committal, get to the end, have America fall in love with you, and then just crush it as the bachelor? But for real, he was the real deal. Honest and open, and I talked about this in depth in my last video. He told her what he wanted from the very beginning. He said, I can see a future with you. I can see this. I am falling in love with you, but I don't know if I'm ready to get married right now. And that proved to be just too much for them to get past. But if he really was that open with her and honest, and she said, like, she was like, oh, well, why did you say that you wanted a house and kids and dogs and all of that? That's a he said, she said. Who knows how that conversation actually went? But if he was real and upfront, like, hey, I love you, I can see those things, but I need more time to get there, which is what we saw him say, then she has no right to be as upset as she was that he didn't want to get married right then and there. Or engaged, you know what I mean? Same fucking shit. I'm angry, guys. I'm cursing. I'm sorry. I'm angry. Mom will be upset. She gave me that tip after the first video is to tone down the cursing. So Mom, I'm sorry. It felt like Peter got the short end of the stick. The whole scene of him and her fighting, like, that was real. Raw. I've said those words a lot, but that was probably the most real outside of Dean's hometown that we saw. When he hit her with the, well, go live a mediocre life with someone else, fire. Absolute fire. And I personally loved it because I thought she was being a little irrational in that moment. I'll get to Rachel in a minute. I got a lot to say on her, but for this particular conversation, what pisses me off is that she went through this and she was incredibly guarded. It took her so long and Nick pulling it out of her for her to say, I love you to Nick. She knows how ridiculous this is. She's a fucking attorney. She understands that in 2 months, this is crazy. This is la-la world. But yet she's sitting there saying, if you can't marry me tomorrow, or I want you to want to marry me tomorrow, engage. I keep saying marry, you know what I mean. She's saying, if you can't do that, then you must not really love me. Get over yourself. I'm clearly segueing into Rachel, so let's just jump into that. Last thought on Peter: if/when he becomes the next Bachelor, the whole storyline tagline will be, can someone show Peter that there's nothing wrong with him? Because of that scene when he's like, what is wrong with me? And then, can he get down on one knee for a woman he loves? So everyone in America will be signing up to that. Guys, girls, dogs, everyone loves him. So good luck, Peter. We'll see you after Paradise. But to Rachel. Just dropped my phone. So Rachel. You guys heard me talk about how I'm a big Rachel fan. Pretty much going into this season. Talked about it right as she was announced. Talked about it in the first couple of videos that I did. Like, I'm a fan of Rachel Lindsay until this episode. She came off real bad. And you know I believe that we see maybe 10% truth in some of those edits. But she was there live, too. And carried a lot of the same emotions and sort of like bad vibes. So a lot of this is probably maybe not well-founded, but this is what I felt, Rachel. This is me to you. I want to tell you how I felt. A lot of people saying that she chose the sure thing and the ring over the true love and someone that she truly cared for. And after seeing what we saw, that's hard to argue. And like a lot of people are saying like, oh, she picked the wrong guy. She picked the wrong guy. This is so messed up. And maybe, but even in the past when people have picked the wrong one or the one that I didn't like, I was still able to be happy for them. When JoJo picked Jordan, not that I loved Robbie, but I was like, okay, yeah, I'm still happy for them. I don't think it's great, but whatever. When Nick picked Vanessa, who I loved Vanessa in the beginning, but towards the end I was like, oh, it's all about Raven. Okay, still happy for them. This is cute. They're gonna break up, but it's cute. I like that little Valley Girl accent. What the fuck was that? It's cute. Oh my god, it's like cute. When Ben picked Lauren, who I actually predicted to be right, I wanted JoJo so bad. But I was like, oh, good for them. Like, you're my person. That was so fucking awesome. So plenty of times people have picked the person that I didn't want or I thought was wrong, and I'm still able to find happiness for them. Not so much the case here. Like, yes, I'm happy. Of course I'm fucking happy. It's Brian. It's my guy. But it's hard. It's hard. What pisses me off, like I talked about with her and Peter, how she's saying, like, she's been in those shoes and she couldn't get over that fact with Peter. That's one part. But second, it's like, it's almost like she was so high and mighty, like, I'm the Bachelorette and you should have to marry me for this to work. Like, how many times do bachelors or bachelorettes say, hey, this is a two-way street, like, I want you to love me just as much as I love you and I want to build a life with someone. And now all of a sudden on the last episode it's about having the ring? Okay, that's not fair. She's been talking about for a while that she wants a husband, not a boyfriend. And I get that she's had stuff in her last relationships that maybe give her some fears, understood. But again, she is a very rational woman. Gotta believe she would understand Peter's feelings. And clearly, she's pretty in love with the guy. Those tears, that kiss. Apparently it was a goodbye kiss. I didn't even fucking know it was a breakup until they brought him out live. I thought they were gonna work it out. And I will say, I do think she loves Brian. I think she, and I've said that from, night one? Like, she has a very strong connection with Brian. I do think she loves him. My phone keeps going off. I should probably silence that. But until this episode, I thought it was like far and away ahead of anyone else, including Peter. Then you see these clips and you're like, wow, she was not so much like, okay, I love Brian, he's the one. It was, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but Peter is non-committing, so now I'm gonna go to Brian. Which might have been the result anyway, right? Maybe if Peter got on board and he's like, you know what, I do wanna marry you, not just because you want me to do it, because I wanna do it, because I love you and I'm not giving you up. That would have been a fucking beautiful moment, huh? Even if that happened, maybe she picks Brian anyway. But because it didn't, this will be the narrative for the end of time. Until they break up, or until we forget about it and there's some new story. But this reminded me a lot of Desiree's season. If you guys watched, you remember Des was in love with that dude Brooks, I think it was. I forget exactly what happened, but he ended up being like, I can't do this, and he dipped. She was in tears. She was heartbroken, wanted him to be the one so bad. Then she picked Chris, and he proposed, and it was like, you almost felt bad for the guy. It was like, it's an afterthought. Like, oh, the one she wanted left, so, okay, yeah, I guess I'll marry you. And that's how it felt with Brian. Also, ridiculous. The whole, having her there live, having Peter come out, and having that whole conversation before they even showed the proposal was the worst fucking idea ever. Chris Harrison, if that was you, you deserve to be fired. I will take your job tomorrow. Producers, if that was you, I don't know if I can produce, but I'll take your job too. There was zero suspense. I said in the beginning, I didn't feel teary-eyed. I didn't feel warm and fuzzy. I didn't feel anything because the proposal was bullshit. We already knew it was gonna happen. It was windy as fuck. Who designed that? And the only thing we saw was Brian profess his love and she say, ooh, ring, pretty, give me. Come on. Come on. But back to Rachel and the parallel to Des. Des is happily married to Chris. They have a baby now, so who knows? Maybe this works out beautiful, and this was just a microcosm of what we saw happening with Peter. I don't know. But it just paints a bad picture, and that's what we get from the show, and that's what everyone's going to talk about. Not a good look, Rach. Not a good look. And the last part, the worst part, was the live interaction with Peter, and this is what I was talking about, like, okay, maybe the footage was cut and spliced to make it look worse than it was. The live footage, she was very rude to him. Very rude, very condescending. He said he felt attacked. Use whatever word you want. She was trying to win the breakup so bad. Telling him that this is just not for him, this show, this atmosphere. Oh, it's not for you, but it's for me because I've done this now. I've done this twice now. I know what the fuck I'm doing. You had the hardest time ever on your own season. Don't tell this man what he can or can't do because he's going to be the Bachelor. And as he's there, like, trying to apologize about things he said, like, you react with, oh, I'm living my best life. Like, we get it. You broke up with him. He didn't break up with you. Which is total bullshit because he made the call that he wasn't going to commit. So, like, it felt very much like she was bitter, like she was not over him, like she was trying to just win. And it came off like high and mighty. I said that before, but, like, if people actually watch this video, I'm sure I would have Rachel supporters bashing me for this. Because people all over Twitter that are, you know, big fans of her say she's fierce, she's bold, she says what she wants, and she goes for it. And I'm not saying that's wrong. Like I said, I've been a supporter of her all season. But to come out and treat Peter that way, like after all that you two had been through, apparently, and seriously, there was a love share, just not cool. Not cool. That's all it is. Not cool. But that's our show. Rachel, Brian, engaged on the media tour right now. I think Peter is doing some media already, so keep an eye out. Bachelor. And apparently Bachelor in Paradise starts on Monday. A week after this, we get 0 break. My heart can't take this shit, ABC. I have a million thoughts and things to say on Bachelor in Paradise. That preview is crazy. The whole scandal, I'll get into that, but I'll save it for next Monday. I really like doing these videos. I want to thank whoever is watching these. I get a couple of views per video, so thank you for anyone who's watching this. My goal for Bachelor in Paradise is to do them real time. Do them like the day after or 2 days after, and keep them short and sweet. I know, like, I've kind of had this running joke with myself, I guess, that I'm going to keep these videos short. But that is my goal for Bachelor in Paradise because, I don't know, I have fun with them, and it's cool. So, appreciate you guys watching. Great season, kind of, not really. But this is why we watch. This is the show. You love to hate it. You hate to love it. It's Bachelor Nation. Great season. I'm Chris Harrison, Chris Hankin. See you next time. So yeah, I don't know where I'll fit this in, but I think spoilers are awesome for most shows. Fuck, I read Game of Thrones spoilers, and I don't even watch Game of Thrones. I know, tragedy, oh my god. But I'm just saying, like, obviously spoilers are amazing. When I read a book, I read the last page before I read anything, because I just like to know what happens. This is the one show, I don't want to know that. I genuinely want to see what happens, because it's so fake, it's not real, and I'm okay with that. It's like WWE wrestling, I don't want to know what happens, I want to watch. So it's hard to avoid the day-to-day, right? Like, every week when it airs, it's hard not to see it on Twitter or Facebook, but I don't like going to, like, the reality Steve and seeing the winner before it starts. So I've been right on a good bit of them. I'm gonna put some up here if I have them. But I've been wrong plenty of times too. So no spoilers for this. Don't give me any spoilers for Bachelor in Paradise. If you got spoilers, keep